Last year alone, over 800,000 bags were rejected at airport security, and that number is only climbing. Now imagine rushing to catch your flight in 2025, only to be stopped because of something you didn't even know was wrong with your carry-on. What new rules are waiting to trip travelers up this year, and how can you make sure your bag doesn't get flagged? Like, stay close, because missing these updates could cost you more than just time at the gate. Let's dive into it. Number 1. Strict rules on lithium batteries. New safety regulations worldwide are cracking down on lithium-ion batteries, spare batteries like power banks, and devices with lithium batteries, phones, cameras, vaping, e-cigarettes must be packed in your carry-on bag, never in checked luggage. Airlines and the TSA cap most rechargeable batteries at about 100 watt-hours. Larger batteries require airline approval and are usually limited to 2 spares. If you bring power banks or e-cigs, keep them accessible and do not use or charge them during flight. Several authorities now ban in-flight charging to prevent fires. Protect spare batteries with taper cases to avoid short circuits, and when gate checking a bag, always remove any lithium batteries and carry them with you in the cabin. These steps are mandatory in 2025. Ignore them and your battery or entire bag could be refused at check-in or security. Number 2, liquid still limited to 100 milliliters. Don't toss those travel-sized bottles just yet. The familiar Aussie 311 liquid rule is still in full effect for 2025 despite new scanner technology in some airports. Globally, airports continue to enforce the 100 milliliter limit per container for liquids, gels, creams, and pastes in carry-ons. All your liquids must fit into a single clear resealable 1-quart plastic bag, about 20 by 20 cm, 1 bag per passenger. No bottle larger than 100 milliliters is allowed. Through security will make you surrender any oversized liquids, from full-size shampoos to that souvenir hot sauce. Some high-tech European airports with CT scanners let you keep electronics and liquids inside your bag during X-ray screening, but the quantity limits still apply everywhere. Until regulators officially raise the volume limit, pack only travel-sized liquids in your carry-on to avoid delays or confiscation. Number 3, size and weight rules. Overstuffed carry-ons are getting a hard look in 2025. Aviation authorities and airlines are moving towards standard bag sizes and stricter enforcement to ensure your carry-on fits in the overhead. In Europe, new EU-wide rules set a maximum cabin bag size of 55 x 40 x 20 centimeters, about 21.6 x 15.7 x 7.9 inches, including wheels/handles. Many major carriers around the world have similar limits, often cited as 22 x 14 x 9 in the US, and anything larger will be rejected at the gate and sent to the cargo hold. Weight limits are also tightening. Europe now suggests about 10 kilograms total for your carry-on plus personal items, and several airlines in Asia and elsewhere cap carry-on weight around 7 to 8 kilograms. So always measure and weigh your hand luggage before you head to the airport. If your bag barely squeezes into the sizer or exceeds weight rules, expect officials to tag it for check-in and possibly charge you. Sticking to the standard carry-on dimensions will save you from surprise fees and the disappointment of having your bag rejected last minute. Number 4. More items banned than you think. Security agencies have zero tolerance for prohibited items in carry-on bags, and the list goes beyond obvious weapons. All firearms, ammunition, realistic toy guns, knives, and explosives are strictly banned from cabin luggage. That's not new, but travelers are often caught out by seemingly harmless items that are also forbidden. In 2025, authorities are emphasizing that personal protection items like pepper spray, mace, tasers, or defense sprays are not allowed in carry-ons, and usually not in checked bags either without proper handling. Similarly, sharp objects, scissors longer than 4 inches, box cutters, razor blades, and tools over 7 inches are banned in the cab. Even certain sporting goods, bats, ski poles, and everyday items like large hand tools or tent stakes can be refused at security. Another surprise, high-proof alcohol over 70%, 140 proof, is prohibited in carry-on bags as it's highly flammable. The rule of thumb is if it can be used as a weapon or is potentially dangerous, it doesn't belong in your carry-on. Double-check the TSA or your country's aviation security "what can I bring" list before pack. Forgetting that hunting knife in your backpack or a can of pepper spray on your keychain could not only get your carry-on pulled aside, you might face fines or be denied boarding. Number 5. Smart luggage must have removable batteries. Those high-tech smart bags with built-in chargers and GPS are convenient, but new regulations will ground them if you can't remove the power source. Airlines worldwide now require that any smart suitcase must have a removable lithium battery. If the battery cannot be taken out, the bag cannot be checked in, and many carriers won't even allow it as a carry-on. This rule is to prevent fires. An integrated battery in the cargo hold is a hazard if it overheats. So if you travel with a smart bag, be prepared to pop out the battery. In fact, if you end up having to gate check your smart carry-on, you'll be required to detach the battery and bring the battery into the cabin with you before the bag is loaded below. Airlines introduced these policies back in 2018 and they're strictly enforced in 2025. Smart luggage is fine only if you can disconnect the power pack. Make sure you know how to quickly remove your bag's battery. Keep any tools needed to do so in your carry-on. If the battery is non-removable, invest in a new bag or leave the smart suitcase at home, or you risk having your luggage refused at check-in. Number 6. Powdered items over 12 ounces face extra scanning. Powders might not come to mind as a security risk, but current rules treat them much like liquids. Carrying more than 12 ounces, 350 ml of powdery substances in your carry-on can get your bag flagged at the checkpoint. This includes things like protein powder, spices, drink mixes, coffee, baby powder, or powdered cosmetics. TSA and other security agencies may require additional screening for large powder containers, and if they cannot identify or clear the substance, it won't be allowed on the plane. In the US, since mid-2018, any powder over 12 ounces in carry-ons on flights coming into the country can be confiscated if it's suspicious or unverified. Other countries have adopted similar measures. For travelers, the practical tip is pack big powder containers in checked baggage whenever possible. If you must carry powder in your cabin bag, say baby formula or medical powder, keep it in its original packaging and notify the officers medicines and baby formula are generally exempt but may still be tested. A small amount of powder typically passes through, but when in doubt, separate it out for inspection. Number 7. Only one carry-on and one personal item. Airlines have become very strict about how many bags you can bring into the cabin. In general, you're allowed one full-size carry-on suitcase and one small personal item per passenger. Your personal item must fit under the seat in front of you, typically about 40 x 30 x 15 centimeters, the size of a small backpack or handbag. In 2025, don't assume you can sneak additional shopping bags or an extra backpack on board. If you exceed the limit, you'll likely be stopped and forced to check a bag or consolidate items. In fact, many budget airlines and basic economy fares now only allow one bag total unless you pay for a carry-on upgrade. Regulators in some regions, like the EU, have pushed for uniform cabin baggage rights, but enforcement still varies by airline. The safest bet, plan to bring at most 2 pieces with you, and if your ticket type says one personal item only, stick to that. Make sure your personal item isn't oversized. A giant personal backpack will be treated as a second carry-on and could be rejected at boarding. By following the 1+1 rule and checking your fare's baggage policy in advance, you'll avoid costly last-minute fees and the frustrating. Number 8. Eco-friendly carry-on practices encouraged. Airlines and regulators worldwide are paying more attention to cabin waste and single-use plastics. As a result, passengers are being encouraged to pack eco-friendly, for instance, using reusable bottles and limiting disposable plastics in their carry-on. Some airlines have even introduced policies to reduce onboard waste. Alaska Airlines became the first to remove plastic straws, water bottles, and cups on board to cut down on waste and emission. Likewise, European carriers like SAS have eliminated duty-free sales on flights to reduce aircraft weight. While these are not strict security rules, in 2025 you can expect many airports and airlines to support greener carry-on habits. This might include more water refill stations instead of selling bottled water, and encouragement to pack lighter or avoid bringing items that will end up as weight. Adopting these eco-friendly carry-on practices not only complies with emerging guidelines, but also helps reduce your travel carbon footprint. Number 9. Biometric ID and facial scan. Many major airports have begun using facial recognition to match passengers with their ID, speeding up the identity check process. In the United States, travelers will also need a federally compliant ID, a real ID driver's license or equivalent to board domestic flights starting May 7th, 2025. These initiatives mean you should be prepared to have your photo ID or face scanned at security, making carry-on screening faster and more secure by reducing manual document check. Participation in facial ID programs is voluntary in places like the US, but it's becoming a common practice that benefits travelers with quicker verification. That's all for today. If you found this video helpful, then do not forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends and family.